And when I went, since November, that was the first time I met him after November breakup. And I met him in his vehicle. We shook hands, we greeted. His eyes were red, he was crying. And that is a cry from disappointment, a cry from being heartbroken and being disappointed. Not that he was crying like a baby, but he was crying. And we men, you can tell when a man is crying, when a man is hurt, even if he doesn't holler out the way some other people would do or ladies would do. And as I speak to you, I think I borrow some of those tears from his eyes. And as I speak to you, I'm teary right now because we have been disappointed. We are being put in a stalemate, standstill, because some people were waiting for the government. But deep down, most of us knew that the government would disappoint. And short of the government telling us, go to hell, they practically said, go to hell by saying, we don't know what happened to Mohbad. We don't have an answer. And the same government told us in that courtroom that 98% in an autopsy situation, they are able to identify the cause of death. The doctor gave us lecture on different procedures, mechanism of toxicology and pathology. And for me, you're telling me now that out of the 3 or 2% left, Mohbad falls in that. Because the man practically bragged in the beginning, you would get an answer in 98%. Now, sometimes you anticipate bad news, and when it comes, it hits you in a different way. If I told you that we did not expect what they say or what they said yesterday, it would be a big lie. It would be a terrible lie. We knew this was what would come, and instead of focusing on how to counter it, we've been badgering each other, attacking each other, analyzing, over-analyzing. I had to say this as a backdrop. Now, let me go to my point. The way forward is what everybody, if you love Mohbad, if you love Nigeria, if you love Africa, the way forward is what you need to focus on. The way forward should be the only thing coming out of our minds, our mouth, our action. If you're insulting anybody at this stage of the game, then you really don't know what we're fighting for. If you analyze and criticize somebody's error, you don't belong in the movement for justice for Mohbad. No human being is perfect. As I speak, some people will analyze and try to criticize what I'm saying. And as you speak, they will do the same thing to you. And in Yoruba, we say Aruwoja. All that would amount to noise and distraction. We've gotten the shock that we expected. Now we need to focus on getting Mohbad the justice he deserves. So the way forward, recommendation number 1 for me, which we did at the courthouse yesterday, is making, I want to encourage the world, and I mean global, to begin to think on the human resources. Science has failed us. We now need to rely on human information. We all know somebody knows something, but how do we get to fish that person out and protect that person. That was why we went to the courthouse on behalf of the African Television Foundation. We went out and we used the courthouse backdrop to announce the 50 million naira reward. Now, I want to thank those people who have supported and are encouraging. Lady Harris has been pushing this. Aristocrat understands this. Other people understands that now we need to rely on the people to come out and give us information.
Sorry, African Television, please. I'm not interjecting you, sir. Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question when I finish, please. I just need 2 more minutes.
Before you go on, please hold on 1 second, please. Is this 50 million reward? Is this certain?
It is certain and it is beyond 50 million.
100%?
It is certain and it is beyond. And let me tell you beyond, because we started with the 50 million naira reward from the African Television Foundation, but people have already started volunteering to contribute far and above what we plan. So when I say it is beyond, I want you to mark it down. We have not even started the full campaign and people are already promising to add more to it. But what I want people to understand is why this 50 million. It's not about the money. It's about getting the information. The people behind what happened to Mohbad or that were around Mohbad, some of them may be afraid to speak. Somebody that knows something that can help us is out there, and that person may be afraid of the system, and we need to make provision for the safety of that person. And some of our partners, like Susie, Lady Harris, other people have made arrangements, including the African Television family. We promise to make sure that this person lives outside Nigeria. We are mostly diasporans that are involved. We all have citizenship elsewhere. We all have ways of helping you diplomatically to get out of Nigeria if your information is credible. And above all, you get 50 million promised by African Television and other funds that may come. And I repeat, that may come. So we need to push this to all the nooks and crannies of the world, that people should understand that we need this information and the person will be protected. I'm begging you, host. I'm begging you, journalists. We had 15 journalists yesterday at the courthouse. Go and start looking at your newspapers and bloggers. African Television invited 15 journalists out there yesterday, including those that were already on the ground on their own. So we are not playing. Now, I want to use this opportunity to plead with everybody. I borrowed something from Very Dark Man. We are making a petition to go against the Commissioner of Police, the way they have handled this matter. Very Dark Man released the video, and if you haven't seen it, go and see it. It makes a lot of sense. It has political tonation. It makes sense because the head of the police should command or demand more from the police. And as we all know, or most of us believe, police has not done the best in this job. The Nigerian police has affected this investigation. They're not carrying people along. Mothers and brothers and sisters are crying, looking for information that the police should have readily be providing us. And because of their lapsity, a lot of so-called baby journalists, non-trained, uncivilized, got into this and they've twisted facts and stories. Now it's time to bring everything back in line. I am asking every blogger, every group, every joiner that is out there to go out and file a fiat. We are doing it from the African Television family. We are bringing a fiat against everybody that was involved or around Mohbad, because the police has not or is not prosecuting them. The reason we are in this mess, the reason the media is a mess, or the bloggers, or the whole movement is a mess, is because the police did not or has not arrested, questioned those that we think are suspects. Now, let me tell you, as a citizen, you have a right to file a fiat to the State Attorney General's office against anybody that you think is culpable. And when we all do that as citizens, we get to hear from 15 to 21 or 26 or 27 or 30 people that were in the immediate vicinity of Mohbad in the last 72 hours of his time on earth. When we do that, we are doing the policing. We are now telling the police, I think Mr. B is a thief. Let Mr. B come to court and prove to me that he did not steal. Then Mr. B may tell us that it was Mr. Z or Miss Q that did it. When we use this strategy, we will get the answer that the public demands. Remember, we all believe somebody out there politically or they or powerful people. Fine, let them play their own role. We play our role. We have the law. We have the right under the law to file a fiat. If I think this host is culpable, I have the right to apply to the State Attorney General's office to file a motion to prosecute the host. Let the host now come and tell me what the host knows. I'm just making an example, guys, please. So the point I'm trying to make is, we have a list of so-called 26 or some number of people that should have been giving us the true information, but they are not. And if they gave it to the police, police is not giving it to us. So what do? We have to command. The law is for us and we are for the law. So we use the law to get the truth. That's the strategy. That's the way forward. Two-way forward. I think I can rest on that for now. Thank you. Thank you, host. So I will rest on that for now. Don't forget the 50 million naira. Bring a motion against the police for not doing their job properly, and bring a fiat against those that we think should have known something or were around Mohbad. So those are the 3 points. Those are the way forward from the African television family. And if you have any better ways forward, bring it to us. Let's work together. The lady said we all need to work together. It's a good idea. We all need to work together, but some people cannot work with some people. So find your team that you can work with and stop criticizing, stop overanalyzing.